In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NFL games happening on September 10, 2023, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NFL games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Green Bay Packers versus Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears and Green Bay Packers, one of the oldest and best rivalries in the NFL, will go head-to-head in Week 1, with the Bears hosting at Soldier Field on Sunday. Green Bay finished last year with an 8-9 record and barely made the playoffs, while the Bears went 3-14 and earned the number 1 pick in the previous draft we just had. However, both teams have made massive changes to their team composition. Now is the time to see who made the right changes. I don't know what to expect from the Packers, given the heat on the coaching staff and the quarterback situation. Also, the Packers were just trying to trade for Jonathan Taylor despite having Aaron Jones on the roster. It's just a tough team to figure out. As I already mentioned, I kind of like the Bears' potential this season and think this could be Fields' coming out party. Eberflus has a year under his belt. The addition of more should do wonders, and it just feels like the market is underrating this squad a bit. I'm a bit higher on the Bears than the Packers entering opening week. Also, with Rodgers moved on to the Jets, so this is the Bears' chance to finally beat the Cheeseheads. So the Chicago Bears to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. These teams hate each other, and that always results in a little added motivation and intensity, especially on the defensive side of the ball. While I like the Packers to step up with Jordan Love at quarterback, playing at Soldier Field in front of a raucous Chicago crowd is one of the worst places to go, and I'm expecting him to feel the pressure early and often, especially from the Bears' pass rush. Chicago should be able to force some mistakes out of Love, and that in turn should limit Green Bay's scoring ability. Until Love settles into the game, don't be surprised if the Packers largely lean on their run game from Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. The Bears' offense also has their struggles, and although Justin Fields should be better this season, I'm still not sold on him starting hot out of the gates. Having DJ Moore as a receiving option is certainly a bonus, but it's important to remember the Fields had 20 turnovers last year. Chicago has been a heavy run first team for years now, and if they stick with that approach, then that should mean the clock keeps ticking and the number of possessions for each team will be limited. Jordan Love is an unknown. He has yet to be a starting quarterback in his 2 years in the NFL, and while I think he will excel, it could take some time. I expect most of the Packers' offensive success in this one to be on the ground against a poor rush defense. In addition, Chicago was one of the lowest scoring teams in the entire NFL last season. They only managed to generate 10 and 19 points respectively in the 2 meetings against the Packers last year. They have scored 20 or fewer points in 4 consecutive home games. The under is 4-1 in the Bears' last 5 September games. I expect points to be at a premium in this bout. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Las Vegas Raiders versus Denver Broncos. Twice a season, these American Football Conference West rivals put each other to the test. In 2023, the Las Vegas Raiders and Denver Broncos get to knock ground out of the way immediately. Last year, the Raiders swept the Broncos, including an overtime win in Denver the second time around. Well, this game is in Empower Field at Mile High 2, and Denver wants to protect their house. It will be the beginning of a new era for the Denver Broncos when they entertain the American Football Conference West rival Las Vegas Raiders on Sunday afternoon. Fortunately for the Broncos, their Nathaniel Hackett era did not last long. In fact, it did not even last a full season. Hackett was fired 15 games into the 2022 campaign. Denver was 4-11 at the time and finished 5-12. You have to think the Broncos will be better under head coach Sean Payton, but given how bad they were last year, that's not necessarily saying a lot. There could be some growing pains in a new system, too, so it may be a while before things get better in the Mile High City. Moreover, Jerry Jeudy is questionable for Week 1, and his absence would be especially bad since fellow receiver Tim Patrick is once again out for the season. The Raiders are a little bit different, too, as Derek Carr is gone and Jimmy Garoppolo has taken over under center. That may not as big of a downgrade as some expect, expect. In fact, it might not be a downgrade at all. In 9 seasons with the franchise, Carr won a grand total of 0 playoff games and took the Raiders to the playoffs only once. Garoppolo, on the other hand, is a proven winner by comparison who has played in the Super Bowl. The Josh Jacobs contract dispute is over, too, so Las Vegas star running back is good to go for the season opener. With the Raiders getting more than a field goal, I will happily take the points. So the Las Vegas Raiders to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. In the 2021 head-to-head meeting in Denver, a total of 58 points were scored. Last year, the game in Las Vegas featured 55 points. Even though the Broncos are a defensive-minded squad, it's clear that these two teams can put up points against each other. With Wilson no longer a proverbial rookie with his new team and now playing with a competent head coach in what will presumably be an improved system, and also with Jacobs back in action for Las Vegas, I also anticipate plenty of points being scored in this contest. Denver did not have a first-round pick in the NFL draft because of its acquisition of Peyton from New Orleans, and it didn't select a defensive player until the 3rd round. Meanwhile, Las Vegas defensive end Chandler Jones is dealing with a personal issue and may not be available. Last year, the Raiders scored 54 points in their 2 games against the Broncos. Each battle saw Vegas finish with at least 22 points. They were a solid offensive group last season, and there are still dangerous weapons all over the field wearing a Raiders helmet. As for the Broncos, they outscored their season average against the Raiders in 2022. Las Vegas has a weak defense, and Denver should be much better offensively this season. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Miami Dolphins versus Los Angeles Chargers. The Los Angeles Chargers play host to the Miami Dolphins on Sunday afternoon in an American Football Conference showdown from SoFi Stadium. Both playoff teams last season, these two teams look to start the season strong. The Chargers finished off with a heartbreaking second-half collapse as they look to get momentum going back in the right direction to open the season. For Miami, injuries hurt them when things were said and done, as a valiant effort came up just short in their playoff run. Last season, the Chargers escaped with a 6-point win in Los Angeles, as the rematch should be just as entertaining for these two sides. Both Justin Herbert and Tua Tagovailoa came from the same draft class, and each will be motivated to get their franchises off to a winning start. The Chargers enter this season with plenty of ambition under new offensive coordinator Kellen Moore, and after signing Herbert to a 7-year contract, Los Angeles will want to put on a show in front of the home crowd. Herbert threw for 367 yards against the Dolphins last season, with both Keenan Allen and Mike Williams putting up big performances, and I can see something similar happening again. Austin Eckler looks bound for another red-hot season, and with the weapons at their disposal, this Chargers team should have no problem putting points on the board. On defense, Los Angeles needed help stopping the run, and they've addressed that issue by signing Eric Hendricks during the offseason. And while both Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are as fearsome a receiving tandem as it gets, the Chargers are well equipped to deal with them with Derwin James and J.C. Jackson in the secondary. Up front, Los Angeles will have Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa bearing down on Tagovailoa, and if they can get to the quarterback, then that should swing things nicely in the Chargers' favor. The Chargers won this same matchup by 5 points back in December, and with Miami having to travel across the country in Week 1, we'll be asking a lot out of this group. They've battled injuries for much of the preseason, and the lack of consistency and inability to shake off the rust will come back to haunt them on Sunday. For the Chargers, their offense remains one of the best in the NFL, with the addition of one of the top wide receivers in the draft as well. The defenses here are going to be the massive difference, and I believe in the Chargers to get stops more than the Dolphins. In 2 career games against the Chargers, Tua Tagovailoa struggles as he is 2-5 of 5-3 for 314 yards with 3 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Herbert in 2 games against the Dolphins is 5-9 of 8-3 for 554 yards with a 3-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. With the injury to Jalen Ramsey, this Dolphins defense is very similar, and I do not trust them to defend the pass against a high-octane offense. On the other hand, Los Angeles should be able to limit the running game, as the Dolphins do not have a top-tier running game. The Chargers' ability to move the ball at will be too much for Miami to match on the road in this one, so the Los Angeles Chargers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. This matchup in Los Angeles has the potential to be a shootout. As mentioned in the spread write-up, Tua Tagovailoa has one of the best receiving core in the NFL with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. As we saw in last season's wild card game against the Jaguars, Los Angeles defense always has potential to struggle, and few teams are better poised to take advantage of any slips than the Dolphins. However, the Chargers have plenty of playmakers of their own in Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and Austin Eckler. Eckler is one of the most dangerous running backs in the NFL as he poses a dual threat, and it's difficult to see Miami's defense stopping all the ways that Los Angeles can damage them. Both teams bring back a big-armed quarterback, along with a pair of talented receivers, while the Chargers have one of the league's best running backs to lean on as well. With thin secondaries on both sides too, these should be quick strike plays as well, filled with big plays. These were two teams that were electric offensively last year, as both have solid quarterback play with some fantastic receivers and two head coaches that are not afraid to push the pace in game. Both will be eager to shake off early playoff disappointment as well, and I think this could be one of the most entertaining games of the opening week. The fence is typically optional when these two teams play, and given they'll be squaring off against other, there will be plenty of points to be had in this one. I see plenty of fireworks in this one as both offenses start red hot. Expect this to be the highest scoring game of the weekend and one that fans won't want to take their eyes off of. With two high-powered offenses who can score on any play from anywhere on the field, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.